I just want to take a minute and catch my breath after that, because Kevin Sullivan, Eric Tompkins, everybody in production and TV that did that video, that thing, I don't even know where to start with it. Just the memories that you guys brought back and the things that you guys embodied for me. I'll never forget it. Kevin Sullivan, I know you're not here right now, but Kevin Sullivan, thank you. I want to thank Jim Mitchell. Where'd he go? Where's he at? I want to thank Jim. Jim is a big reason, if not a major reason, I'm standing up here right now. We were such a great act together, and I experienced a lot of the success I had because I was with Jim. And Jim, this is for you and for me, because you absolutely helped me attain everything that I ever wanted to do. I got a great story about Jim. When we were first starting to get to know each other, when Jim and I were first starting to get to know each other, we traveled, we were rooming together and driving together, and we got in this truck one night, and this is only a couple months in, we're just starting to get to know each other. And I said, I always called him the Good Reverend. I said, Good Reverend, how do you get your eyelashes to turn up like that? It blew me away. I was like, how in the world do you do that? I'm not kidding, it blew me away. And he goes, my son. He always called me my son. My son, let me show you how. And he dug into his pocket, and he pulled out a .380 revolver gun, fully loaded magazine. And I'm like, Jim, what? He's like, wrong pocket, my son. Wrong pocket, my son. And he goes, look down. I'm in the passenger seat. He's driving, and he says to me, look down on the floor, my son. And I looked down on the floor of his truck, which was a mess. And on the floor was 100 of these. Remember these when you were in grade school, the little glue sticks, the push-up glue sticks where you push it up? And he takes it. He goes, hand me one of those off the floor, my son. And I handed it to him, and he took the top off, and he goes, that's how I do it, my son. Jim, I wouldn't be here without you. You're a huge part of the reason I'm standing up here. You're one of the best talkers to this day in the wrestling business. To this day, one of the best talkers in the wrestling business. You're a great manager, you're a great man, and you're a great friend. And thank you for everything you did for me. Moving on just a little bit, when I was in school, I wasn't, I was a decent student. I went to Ohio University on a football scholarship, so I wasn't known for, the classes. But one class I took, which I got a D+ in, but I still listened, was philosophy. And one thing that I always carried around with me my whole life was something that Mark Twain once wrote. And he said, the two most important days of your whole life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. And I carried that with me my whole life. I really did. And, for me, I can remember, for me, it was 1983, and I was sitting in front of my television, and this is before WWF was syndicated, and it only came on in Cleveland, Ohio at 11:30 at night, and I'd flip through and I'd find it, and I'd sit there and rock, just watch it and rock. And for those of you that know me, I'm a rocker, yeah. I'll tend to rock every now and then. I'd sit there and I'd rock, and I just was immediately addicted to it. I just could not get enough of it. What is this pro wrestling thing? Who is this Roddy Piper guy? Who's this Hulk Hogan guy? Who's this Vince McMahon dude? Like, what is going on? It just blew me away. It became the number one thing in my life. I mean that. Like, I dropped everything. To my mom's dismay, I dropped everything. I couldn't get enough of it. I carried that passion with me all the way until 1995 when I got in, and started. And 23 years later, in my wildest dreams, I never thought that I would have had the career that I've had. It's truly, truly been a dream come true for me on every level. You know, I'm going in this Hall of Fame, the Impact Hall of Fame, with some legends and some pretty heavy hitters. You know, going in with guys like Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, Bubba, Devon, Gail Kim. Yeah. And who could forget the incomparable Earl Hebner? Yes. Yeah. To be considered to stand among these men and women representing Impact in the Hall of Fame, it's truly the ultimate feeling of success and reward. To be in this Hall of Fame and cemented in history as a Hall of Famer is something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. Nothing else I'll cherish more than this, and that truly is how I feel. I couldn't be more proud to stand among the greats that I'm standing with in this Hall of Fame, but being the first Impact original. You know, the originals were the foundation of this place, man. No matter what you say, the foundation of this company was built originally back in 2002. Going in with guys like AJ Styles that was here, Eric Young, Bobby Roode, Christopher Daniels, Sanjay Dutt, Low-Key. You know, I gotta say this, and I just, you know, for all the originals, this is for all of us, man. This is for all the originals, man. All the originals. You know, I'm a big George Strait country music fan, and he said this thing is not about the breaths you take in your life, but it's about the moments that take your breath away. And man, this business has given me probably more than I deserve of those moments, you know. Teaming with Hulk Hogan, winning the world title from Sting, wrestling Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Ric Flair, Kevin Nash, Christian Cage, Rob Van Dam, main eventing AJ the first time in 2005 at Lockdown. Barbed Wire Massacre with Sabu, building the Monsters Ball into a signature match of hardcore wrestling, and welcoming my esteemed brother Joseph Park to the roster. Those are without a doubt some of the moments that I'll never forget, and I'll carry them with me for the rest of my life. A lot of people touched my heart during my career. I could stand up here for hours and hours and I still wouldn't be able to get done. Then I know I'm going to leave people off. I literally could stand up for days and talk about the people that helped me. A lot of people touched my heart. You know, I want to thank Jeff Jarrett. I want to thank Dixie Carter. Jeff and Dixie took a chance on me in 2002 when I was a nobody, and WCW had just closed their doors, and ECW had just closed their doors, and everybody had a name, and I was a nobody, and they took a chance on me. They gave me an opportunity to flourish in this business, and I cannot thank both of them enough for everything they did for me. Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, Dixie. There's a lot of others. I mean, I had a lot of people that wrote and created some incredible stuff for me when I was here. Matt Conway. Thanks a lot, Matt. Dave Lagana. Thank you, David. Thank you. Vince Russo. Thank you. Thank you for everything you did for me. Bruce Pritchard. Thank you, Bruce. Dusty Rhodes. I had the honor of having Dusty Rhodes write stuff for me. John Gaburik, Big. I want to thank Big. Big did a lot for me and helped me. Many touched my heart, but there was a few people that left their footprint on my heart. There's quite a few people that left their footprint on my heart. One person I want to thank, and not a lot of people probably know who he is, but Roger Ruffin. I know Scott knows who he is. Roger Ruffin trained me back in 1995. He's still one of my dearest and best friends, if not my best friend in the world. Still owns Bone Crushers there in Cincinnati, Ohio. Big plug for you, Roger. Roger truly prepared me. He was a great friend, a great mentor, a great man. Truly prepared me for everything that I was about to encounter. I can't thank him enough. Thanks, Roger. Thanks for being the best trainer and best friend over the last 23 years that a guy could ever have. I want to thank Dutch Mantell. Hey, man, let's hear it for Dutch, man. Dutch Mantell, he took me and he showed me how to be a monster. I had no idea how to be a monster. From Puerto Rico in 2002 all the way to Impact, he looked out for me. He looked out for me every step of the way. I would not be here today, and I probably would have moved on from this business if it wasn't for Dutch. And thanks, Dutch. Thanks a lot, man. I want to thank Bob Ryder. Yeah. Bob Ryder, for the last 16 years, you've been a friend. You've been somebody that's helped me along the way. You've been the one that's ribbed me when I deserved it. You've been the one that's chewed me out when I've deserved it. A great story about Bob. Bob's a huge LSU fan. Loves LSU. Don't ever talk about the Louisiana State Tigers bad. And I did one time. I did. I made the mistake of doing it one time, and Bob sent me my travel for the next TVs, and it was a Greyhound bus ticket with I'm not kidding you. I don't know how he did it. It had the logos on it and everything. It was a Greyhound bus ticket with 5 stops and a middle seat. So I learned right then never to rib Bob Ryder again. I want to thank Jeremy Borash. JB, I want to thank you for being one of my best friends inside and outside the ring in this business. We traveled all over the world together, man. All over, everywhere. And forget about wrestling, man. We were just friends. And he just was a friend always. He was a friend to me when I was going through bad times. He was a friend to me when I was going through good times. And he was that constant that always kept me together and always helped me. Personally and professionally. Thanks. Thanks, JB. I want to thank every man and woman that I ever shared a ring with. Thank you for the experience and allowing me the honor and privilege to work with each and every single one of you over the last 17 years. Everybody, the men and the women, thank you for everything that you guys allowed me to be able to craft myself and have unforgettable life experiences with you guys together. Thank you. To the fans, you guys have been the glue that held this monster together for the last 17 years. Yeah. You guys always supported me. You made it all such an incredibly fun journey that continues to this day, and it wouldn't be what it is without the fans, man, and I mean that. Thank you, every fan that ever supported me, Impact Wrestling. Thank you. To my mom, her name's Rosemary, and the most caring, loving woman I've ever known in my life. And I'm lucky to have you as a mom. I'm lucky for how you brought me up, and you always taught me to be a good person and to take care of people. And that's how you did us when we were young, and you always took care of us. And thanks, Mom. I love you. Thank you. To the young men and women of this business right now, this generation of wrestler, you've set the bar to new heights, man. You guys have moved the bar. Your passion, your talent, and your drive has revolutionized this business on so many levels. It has, man. Now, a lot of you are right here tonight that have done that and led that charge, man. If I could offer one piece of advice, one day, Father Time's going to come up and tap you on the shoulder just like that. And you can ignore him, you can blow him off, but he's not going nowhere. He's going to be right behind you. How do you want to be remembered? Because in the end, I promise you this, all the titles, all the tours, and all the Twitter followers aren't how you're going to be remembered. So my piece of advice is this, when you've reached and you've attained your goals and you're sitting on top of that hill and you're feeling great, right before you pump that fist, turn around and put your hand out and help that next guy up on top of that hill with you. Lastly, or two things, and I'm done, I promise. I want to thank Ed Nordholm. Ed, thanks. I want to thank Scott Demore. I want to thank Don Callis. I want to thank Sanjay Dutt. Thank you for making tonight happen. I truly, truly never thought this would happen, and you guys made it a reality. Ed, you and Anthem have made the success of Impact a reality again. And that's a fact. You've given us all, wrestlers and fans all over the world, what they've always deserved, a strong wrestling product that takes pride in its product and in its fans. You, Scott, Don, Ed, you've put together an incredible team that, along with your strong leadership, have allowed this company to see its potential again. Thank you again for everything you've done for me, the Impact roster, its fan base, and the wrestling business. Thank you. Finally, yes, I'm almost done. I want to thank my wife, Christy. She has been the biggest supporter of me over the last 18 years. A quick story about her, just to tell you the kind of woman she is. I met her in 1999. We dated for 2 years, and we were getting married right after 9/11. October of 2001, we were getting married. In May of 2001, I blew my knee out. I was supposed to have a Sunday Night Heat dark match tryout for WWE, and I was on top of the world, and I blew my knee completely out. I had to have surgery on my MCL, and I had no insurance. I was just an independent wrestler. I had no money whatsoever, and she was a bank teller at a bank in Cincinnati, Ohio. And she grabbed me And we went to the justice of the peace and had a cook from the restaurant next door witness our marriage so that I could be covered under her insurance and have the surgery the next day. Christy, I love you. And thank you for everything you've done for me and loving me. I wouldn't be up here today without you. I love you with all my heart, Christy. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everybody. Now let's go out and let's make Bound for Glory the best damn pay-per-view this place has ever seen.